Demon Slayer is one of the most impressive pieces of animation I've ever seen in my life. The action scenes flow with the kind of energy normally reserved for the likes of Makoto Shinkai and his army of replicants. Everything is varied and beautiful. The backgrounds are some of the highest quality digital painting in the industry right now. It is vibrant and textured and distinctive, opting out of the generic glossy realism that has been printing money for the past like 7 to 8 years. Ufotable does more with the particle effects in this show than some folks have the opportunity to do with their entire productions. The action is as weighty as it is fast, every move more precarious and important than the last, and they all build to these insane dramatic peaks. And at no point does it feel like they do not earn that drama. Everything just fucking hits, man. But none of this would matter if the story also didn't have so much heart. Demon Slayer is optimistic in ways that I really wasn't prepared for going into it. There isn't a hint of cynicism at play here. It is almost sickening in its sincerity. And the author offsets this by just diving into absolute emotional terrorism from time to time. Like, there's a lot of puppy kicking going on here, man. It's kind of crazy sometimes. Okay, that scene in like the first episode where Tanjiro just bawls his fucking eyes out begging for this dude to spare his sister's life. I've seen that like 5 times, but every single time it still gets me. Just every single time, dog. Holy shit. I think the ability to do this so well, so consistently, really speaks to Koyoharu Gotouge's strength as a writer. Like, you already know what's coming after a demon gets their shit knocked back, but it still hits you in the feels nonetheless. She's like the Nathan Fielder of making manga.
Oh, would you like me to park your car?
That's stupid. Why the fuck did I write that? I'm cutting that out. Even in the original manga, without the help of the music and all the bells and whistles afforded to you by Ufotable's just borderline slave labor, these moments still hit. Koyoharu's art is jagged and sharp, which helps a lot for sword fights and cool enemy designs, but still manages to come across as soft and delicate in the moments when she needs it to. But standing above all these other things, above all the animation, the writing, the intricacies of the art in general, the thing about Kimetsu no Yaiba that I find the most impressive is that it just ends. Tsugimi Oba and Takeshi Obata's Bakuman has one of the greatest characters in any story about making art, maybe ever. If our protagonists are the epitome of hard work and determination, then Nizuma Eiji is creativity devoid of any judgment or effort. Other characters have to deal with self-doubt, gaps in their skill, and their own interpersonal problems, along with their tenuous place in the world of shonen manga. And then there's our boy, just in his lane, absolutely flourishing. He doesn't have to worry about whether or not the next thing he makes is going to be good because he knows it's going to be good. There isn't a shadow of doubt in his mind. He is free, unencumbered by perfectionism or self-doubt or the expectations of his peers and editors. He doesn't even look at the weekly rankings. God, I wish that was me. Okay, so towards the end of the first season, Eiji gets invited to the head Shonen Jump offices by the then lead editor. No, he doesn't. He doesn't fucking go to the offices. They come to his house. That's why his mama is at the fucking door. That's why they're standing behind him at his own fucking desk. God, how do I fuck that up so bad? This is why I have no friends. Maybe this is why she left. He's not fazed by this in any way whatsoever. In fact, he's so confident that he is the best thing in Jump's current lineup that he straight up asks the guy for the power to terminate any series he hates when he inevitably becomes the #1 Shonen Jump artist. I really didn't fuck with this at first. It felt very unnecessary and extra. But what felt like an unnecessarily, dramatic interjection in a show that really wasn't hurting for any stakes turned out to be this teaching moment about a part of making manga that I was previously unaware of. At the peak of his popularity, after becoming the resident Aishiro Oda of this fictional version of Shonen Jump, he declares to his colleagues and publishers that the manga he plans to end, the one he hates, is, well, his own, because Eiji understands that for a piece of art, a short-lived life is much better than a long, painful, sustained mediocrity. A dignified ending isn't a luxury afforded to many shonen manga, or manga at all for that matter. Some get the axe before ever getting to reach their full potential, and some are dragged on far beyond their natural lifespan, stripped for cash and left as shambling corpses, shells of their former selves. Okay, maybe that's a little harsh, there's still some stuff about the Great Ninja War that fucks to this day. I think it's really cool that you get to see these warriors of legend reincarnated at the height of their powers, and it's even more cool that you get to experience that greatness in the context of a game of Super Ninja Shogi. But like, did we need this? Don't get me wrong, it's cool as fuck, but any semblance of what Naruto was and the internal consistency that made its battles interesting was getting more and more diluted with each passing chapter, devolving into Dragon Ball levels of incoherent. The art had suffered and the plot was getting more convoluted and somehow also shallow at the same time. I used to be a lot angrier at Naruto for sucking this much cock in its final years, but I'm just tired now. I don't have that capacity for hatred in me anymore. Like, there's been a resurgence of people coping all over my timeline about how Naruto wasn't that bad actually, you guys are just assholes, and I'm like, no, it sucks, you're just being driven by nostalgia, which, you know, more power to you, but like, we were all there, you can't make me forget what I saw, I was there the whole time, dog. Since I don't have the capacity for this much cope, all I can really do is sit back and watch this thing that I love that genuinely changed the trajectory of my life and who I am as a person. Just get over serialized into meaninglessness and just feel kinda sad. Look man, I get it. Shonen manga is a cutthroat industry, and having something not only succeed but become a generation defining hit is like winning the fucking lottery. Anything short of milking it for all it's worth is financially irresponsible. I get that, but I just can't get myself to accept it. I'm not that cynical. Not yet anyway. This perverse incentive for making art worse in return for the most amount of money you can make is mainly why I love series that make it so that they have to end past a certain point. When you read Assassination Classroom, you know that this ends with the funny octopus man dying, and relatively soon too. On the newer side, manga like Jujutsu Kaisen read like something that has the intention of ending on its own terms, most likely with a lot of blood. With all this in mind, I can't help but appreciate the insanity of the Demon Slayer ending. At the peak of its popularity, outselling long-standing titans of this genre and medium, with a massive anime adaptation and a movie breaking every sales record in Japan and getting blockbuster treatment in theaters around the world, Koyoharu just looks at this world and its characters, and the boatload of money and the editors foaming at the mouth absolutely jacked to the tits on the high of a generation-defining hit, and thinks to themselves, yeah, I think now is the right time to end this. Just absolute fucking baller shit. Even Toriyama with his endless clout and actual boatloads of money couldn't pull that shit off. Absolutely incredible. I will be the first in line to read that sci-fi romance manga when it comes out.